Next, we are going to look into the advantages and disadvantages of the public corporation. So, first, let's look into the advantages part. First, they've given is the bold management due to operational autonomy. The public corporation feature itself states that there is complete independence in what it can do, in what way it can operate. So that becomes a very big advantage for the public corporation. So it has internal freedom to operate and it is free from the government control. So it can do business in any manner it wants it to run. So it can take decisions by its own. It can do a set of experiments of providing new services to the public. So it takes the advantage of a business situation to decide on its own and has full freedom to perform it also. Secondly, the advantage is legislative control. So all the affairs, whatever the activities done by the public corporation is to be controlled or overviewed by the committee of the parliament or the state legislature. That is, the parliament or the state legislature will have a watchful eye over it. So the press also has an eye. So whatever it does, it will be responsible or it has to report to the press and the government, parliament or the state legislature. So because of this check what they keep on this public corporation, it cannot do any kind of unhealthy practice on the part of the management. So it has to work for the service of the community or the society and it cannot do any malpractice. Thirdly is qualified and contented staff. So the civil servants or the staff who work in a public corporation have a very favorable working condition and they are qualified staff. That is, they are appointed by the public corporation after scrutinizing all their skills and talents. So because they are qualified, they are able to maintain a good industrial relationship and they do not suffer that much. So because of that, smooth industrial relationships are there. There is not much of problems in the industry. And on top of it, staffs are furthermore motivated to work hard for the corporation. Fourth is a tailor-made statute. So the act or the statute in which the corporation is created is called as a tailor-made. Tailor-made is nothing but to fit for the situation. So all the specifications in the act are compiled so that it fits exactly to the situation or the motto for which the public corporation is created. Fifth is not affected by the political changes. So the government does not have that much of intervention in it. Therefore, there is not much of political intervention also. So if there is any change in the political party or any change in the political side of the country, the operations of the public corporation is not at all affected. Because of this itself, it's a very big advantage. Sixth is lesser likelihood of exploitation. So here we have the board of directors who are going to control. They are the representatives. So the people in the board of directors are going to represent various groups. So there may be a laborer, there may be a consumer, there may be a nominated person. So there may be a person who is nominated from the government. So all class of people are represented there in a board of directors of a public corporation. So their views are taken into consideration for the control and the operations of the public corporation. Seventh is a reasonable pricing policy. So they have a reasonable pricing policy and a cost benefit analysis. So because of this itself, the provision of the goods or the services they provide for the society is at a reasonable rate. So therefore, people welcome the services of a public corporation. So that's all with the advantages. So next we are going to move into the disadvantages of a public corporation. So if we take the disadvantages, the first one is the autonomy and the flexibility only in theory. So all we spoke about in the features and in the advantages that it is independent in its operation is only up to theory. That is, it's only in words and not in practice. So that becomes a disadvantage. So the independence and the flexibility is not completely achieved in a public corporation. So in practice, if you see, there is definitely intervention of ministers, MLAs, government, etc., politicians, etc., into the working of a public corporation. Secondly is misuse of monopolistic power. So monopoly means a single businessman who controls over the entire market by selling a unique product. So here public corporations have monopoly in their field, but that itself on the other hand makes it different for the consumer's needs and problems. So it is not able to achieve 100% service to the consumers, or on the other hand it ends up exploiting the consumers. Next we have is a rigid constitution. So the constitution of the public corporation is very rigid. That is, it does not tend to be flexible. So the statute, the act through which it is formed is very rigid and it is not prone for changing. Therefore, it is not flexible. The public corporation is not flexible in its operation. Next is low managerial efficiency. So quite often if you see, these civil servants, they do not possess, they are qualified as in the advantage, but they do not possess the knowledge or the skill for the work to be performed. So these kind of people are appointed in a public corporation, which tends to become a low managerial efficiency. Next we have is the problem of passing a special act. So the main problem itself is you cannot form a public corporation without passing a special act, and it is not very easy to form a special act and just pass it in the parliament. It's a very difficult process. So the basic step of forming a public corporation itself is the biggest disadvantage of passing the act. Next is the clash of divergent interest. So the board of directors, as already discussed, consists of various classes of people. So these people have different ideas which will lead to conflicts. So when it leads to conflicts, there will not be efficient functioning of the public corporation. So these are the disadvantages of the public corporations.